Hi, Miss Nisma.
Hi guys. How are you? Can you hear me well?
Answering the first
Yes.
paper today.
Yes.
No, we're going to finish paper
Correcting
one
the
and paper
exam?
two. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Did you do the homework?
Yes, and I submitted.
All right. For the people who
Miss,
didn't,
I
you
couldn't
have
do the homework.
Mr. October 2018, paper 2, right?
17 paper two.
I miss. I said 17.
No, you said 18.
I said 17.
Who said 18?
You
Someone
said 18, ya Mari.
You said
I
18.
said 17.
You said
We heard
18.
you say 18.
Re-watch the video again, okay? Just
Miss Nisma,
Yes.
is the due date tomorrow?
no,
Yes, it's 18,
the due
17.
date. What's wrong, Mariam?
It's 18 or 17.
17, but you said 2018.
ماشي خلاص مش اتلخبطت بس انا عملت 17.
All right. There's no problem. You're making the problem.
Miss, I couldn't do the homework.
Why, Limar?
My past papers, the math and the science, were in the school, and because I couldn't come on Wednesday and Thursday, I
Okay,
took the
whenever
English
you
and
get
then
them, please submit your homework, okay?
I will lose
Malak,
marks.
Malak, the due date is supposed to be today, okay? So, but anytime today, today.
Even at night?
Yes. All right. Okay, can I start now? We're done?
Yes, we can.
Oh, only Yasin is the only boy here. Hi, Yasin.
Miss, he's the only one who attends أصلا عامة لو كل فصل ما attendش he will attend.
I salute you. Thank you very much, Yasin.
Yes, he attends the first one and he's the only boy that attends.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Now we're going to start with the correcting the mock. Just give me 1 second.
Miss, did you put the recorded session on yesterday?
I did what?
Did you put the recorded session of yesterday?
I will put it today. It's already uploaded on YouTube. If you want to check it on YouTube, it's on YouTube, but I'm going to upload it in Classera. Classera has the problem, but it started working now. So we are going to I'm going to upload it today.
I will watch it from YouTube.
Okay, I'm going to upload yesterday's. Yes, you may. I'm going to upload yesterday's and today's session also on Classera. Okay, guys, so we stopped here, right? Here? Hello? Yesterday we stopped here, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so we answered the first question, which was where the light source is, put the X on the light source. And then there was Oliver always stands still to make it a fair test. Describe one other thing they do to make it a fair test. We can use the same person to draw the shadows every time. And some of you wrote that Oliver doesn't change his clothes, so he has to put the same clothes on. So this is also another thing, because if he wore something that is a little bit like puffy or something, it's going to make the shadow look bigger, or things that have pointy stuff on it, on his clothes, stuff like this may change the way the shadow look. Okay, next is what two things happen to the shadow in the investigation. So we know that it changes its length, and number two, it changes its position along the day. This investigation does not always work. When does this investigation not work? The first thing is that it's, for example, a cloudy day. This is one example of the things that may cause the investigation not to work. The cloudy day will cover the sun, so the sun won't come out, so there will be no shadow. So this is the explanation. Okay, this is one thing. The other thing is if Oliver kept moving around, so this will miss where the position of the shadow is, because if he is like or not the position of the shadow, it will change the way the shadow will look. Okay, yes, Najat.
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next is question 11. Cooking oil has a melting point of 10 degrees Celsius and a boiling point of 240 degrees Celsius. A bottle of cooking oil has been left at 25 degrees Celsius. What will happen when the cooking oil is cooled to 5 degrees Celsius? Okay, guys, so I noticed that a lot of you got confused in this question. I don't know why. And you know, you're familiar with what melting point and boiling point are, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this means that if the melting point of a cooking oil is 10 degrees Celsius, so this is when the cooking oil starts to turn into a liquid. So this means that below any temperature below 10 degrees Celsius, the cooking oil will be what? Just anyone answer. Hello? Where are you guys?
Yes, Amos.
Yeah, so if it starts to turn into liquid on 10 degrees Celsius, below 10 degrees Celsius, it's going to be what? In what state?
Evaporating.
Evaporating. What?
Wait, which question? Which?
I am telling you that it starts to melt at 10 degrees Celsius. It starts to melt. This means that it starts to turn into liquid.
Liquid, yes.
Yeah, so below 10 degrees Celsius, anything below 10 degrees Celsius, this will make the cooking oil in what state?
Solid.
Solid state. Exactly.
I thought you meant above 10.
No, I mean below 10 degrees.
See the screen.
What?
I cannot see the screen.
You cannot see the screen? What about the rest? Can you all see the screen?
Yes, Hannah, you can have a problem. In
Okay,
your
I'm going to stop sharing and I will share again, okay? Okay, can you see the screen now, Hannah?
No, still it's the Zoom itself. Now I can see it.
You can see it, all right, very good. Okay, so a lot of you got confused in this question and thought that it's going to evaporate. No, guys, at 5 degrees Celsius, this is below 10 degrees Celsius. So this means that the cooking oil is still frozen. It did not change or did not reach the melting point, so it did not turn into a liquid. So the first question, what will happen when the cooking oil is cooled to 5 degrees Celsius? It will turn into solid or it will freeze. Okay. The next question is what will happen when the cooking oil is heated to 250 degrees Celsius? So we know that its boiling point is 240 degrees Celsius. So anything above this, it will be still boiling, or it will be evaporating, or it will start to turn into gas. Any of those answers are correct. A lot of you said it will stay the same, and even some of you said it will freeze. So please, guys, pay attention. Pay attention to this. We always, I know it's maybe a little bit confusing because we see the cooking oil in its liquid state all the time. We never saw it freezing, and we never saw it like evaporating maybe while we're frying something. But the thing is that yes, cooking oil can freeze if the temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius. All right. Okay, so let's go to page 11. Question 12 says Rufaro investigates the time it takes for a small ball to fall through a liquid. Here is the apparatus she uses. So Rufaro has this tube, and inside the tube she is trying 5 different types of liquids, and she wants to know how the ball, or how long it will take the ball to fall from the top of the liquid to the bottom of the liquid. Okay, so this shows us, of course, this is off topic. This is something that you don't have to know about, but I'm just going to tell you that this test shows us how heavy or sticky the liquid is. And in science, we call this viscous. The viscosity of a liquid, or it means how sticky or how heavy the liquid is. It's like, for example, imagine that you have a tube and you put some water in it, and another tube and you put some oil in it, and a third tube that you put some hair gel in it. Which one do you think the ball will go faster in?
Miss, can you see the materials again?
Okay, the first tube you have water, the second you have oil, and the third one you have hair gel in it. Which one do you think the ball? Yes, the ball will go through the water the fastest, because the water is not that sticky or slimy or jelly-like. Okay, but the gel, for example, the hair gel, it will take a while until it reaches the bottom of the liquid, because it's a little bit viscous, as we say, or a little bit sticky.
Because it's kind of a solid.
It's kind of a jelly-like substance.
Yeah,
okay,
it's jelly.
yes. All right, so she has those 5 liquids, and she's trying to see how long it will take the ball to fall from the top to the bottom. So the first question says, which liquid has the shortest time for the ball to fall? So I think most of you did it correct, and it's liquid B, because it took the ball only 6 seconds to fall from the top to the bottom. So this means that it went down so fast. Next is Rufaro plots these results on a bar chart. Here is her bar chart. So this question has 3 marks on it, guys. Okay, a mark of the 3 marks is on how neat the bars are. So they don't take this for granted. Even if you did it correct, if you put the point in correctly and you drew the bars correctly, if you did not use a ruler while drawing them, or if you shaded them like in a messy way, you're going to lose 1 point. Okay, some of you even put you did not put them in order. So some of you made liquid E first, drew liquid E first, and then they drew liquid D. This is wrong. You have to do it in order. After C, you have to draw D. So you have to put the 17, which is right here in between the 16 and the 18. And the next will be liquid E, which is 8, right similar to C. Okay, that was one other mistake that I saw. The third mistake that I saw is that of course the shading was very messy, and it was like the pencil just exploded in the paper. So this is, of course, it's not fine. Yeah, one more mistake is I'm not quite sure if that was in your class or in the other class, but someone left a gap after C. They left this column, and then they started drawing from this column. So they used the last 2 columns. I don't know why. We don't need this space. As you can see, all the bars are sticking to each other. So you have to make liquid D sticking to liquid C, and liquid E sticking to liquid D. Do you understand what I'm saying?
For this, don't use the last one.
What? Yeah, you don't have to use the last one, exactly. Okay, and you have to draw it using a ruler again, and the shading should be in a neat way, please. Okay, all right. Next is question C. Says Andros tells Rafaro she should do each experiment again. Why is this a good idea? If you wrote to get a
Can
fair
I
test.
answer?
I don't want to waste so much time, but of course, say it, okay, huh?
To get reliable results.
Reliable results, accurate results, fair test, all of them are acceptable answers. Okay, before starting the experiment, Rufaro makes this prediction. I think that the ball will fall much more slowly in liquid D than in liquid E. Is Rufaro's prediction supported by her results? Let's look at the table. She says that D will be much slower than E, and it's correct because it took the ball 17 seconds, and this is the answer for the next question. Explain how. You just have to write this. In liquid D, the ball took 17 seconds to fall from the top of the liquid to the bottom of the liquid, while in liquid E, the ball took 8 seconds only to fall from the top of the liquid to the bottom of the liquid. Do you understand, guys?
Yes.
All right. Now the last question in this paper, question 13, it says Ali investigates the loudness of some instruments. So we have the cymbals, we have the French horn, we have the piano, and we have the trombone. Which unit does Ali measure sound in? Now, guys, what I noticed that some of you still have a problem differentiating or knowing the difference between the unit that we measure anything in and the apparatus that we use to measure this thing with. For example, if we're talking about the length, if I asked you what is the unit that we measure the length with, you don't tell me ruler. Yes, you don't tell me ruler or measuring tape. Okay, the unit is what you use to describe the length or the sound volume or the weight or the mass. Okay, it's what you use to describe it, not to measure it. So the unit, what unit does Ali measure sound in? It's decibels, guys. If you wrote sound meter, it's wrong. I don't want the apparatus or the tool that I use in order to measure the sound volume or the sound level. I want the unit. So it is decibels. All right. If you wrote dB in small letters, it's correct too. Okay, so that was paper 1. We're going to go through paper 2 now. It says Maria sets up this electrical circuit to test which materials conduct electricity. She closes the switch, and by closing the switch, it means that she's going to push this like downwards. Maria then opens the switch and changes the material. Suggest why she opens the switch before changing the material. So I had some of the most or the funniest answers in this question. And the funniest one actually was that so that the bulb doesn't light up while she's changing materials. She's not opening the switch not to ruin the surprise of the lamp being, you know, open or closed. She's not surprising herself with the different materials. Okay, the idea is, I just want to ask Najat. Najat, are you there?
Yes.
What was the answer for this question? I'm not saying that Najat answered it this way. I just picked her up. What was your answer?
Miss, sorry, I just came, so can I read it very quickly?
Yeah, okay. So she has this circuit, okay, and she's trying different materials, all right? So in order to change the material, she has to open the switch and then change the material and then close the switch again. Why do you think is she doing this?
because if she didn't open the switch,
Yeah.
the electricity will keep passing through, and if she touched the material, she will get shocked.
Thank you so much. So this is the answer, guys, okay? For the people who said that the bulb will light up, seriously, she's not doing the experiment to surprise herself, all right? She's doing the experiment to know what different materials, which materials are insulators and which are conductors. So what she has to do, she has to open the switch, because if she didn't, give me 1 second, because if she didn't, she will get electrocuted or she will get an electric shock. Yes.
So she doesn't get electrocuted while changing the materials if one of them is an electrical conductor.
Okay. All right. Next is question B. It says she experiments where she changes parts of the electrical circuit. In experiment 1, the lamp is bright. Predict the brightness of the lamp in the other experiments described in the tables below. Choose from the words to complete the tables below. So I think you said you read until choose from the words and then you did not read what's written after that, because some of you made circles over those choices and I don't know why. This is not a question, this is just the word bank that you have to choose from in order to fill those gaps. All right, so it says complete the table about the switch. We have two experiments. Experiment 1, we have a closed switch, so the electricity should be going through the circuit, and we have only one lamp. We're using a thin wire and we have a short wire, and the brightness, it was bright, just bright. Okay, number 2, in the second experiment, the switch is open, so you don't have to go through the rest of the givings. The switch is already open, so this means that the lamp will not light up at all. So the answer is lamp not on. Okay, because the switch is already open, so it's not going to light at all. All right, okay. Next, complete the table about the number of lamps. Okay, and they even wrote for you right there what should you look for. Okay, here they said complete the table about the switch, and here they said complete the table about the number of lamps. Okay, but you have to go through also all the givings. So we know that in experiment 1, the switch is closed, we have only one lamp, we use thin wire, we have short wire, so this makes the brightness bright. In this experiment, we have the switch closed, so this means that it is working. We have 2 lamps, so we added 2 loads. We still have thin wire and short wire. So this means that we added loads. So this makes the brightness what? Who will answer this? Raise your hand if you want to answer it. Huh? Huh? Only Ruqayya, no one else is going to answer. And Hannah?
It's number 2, right?
The second one, yes. Hala? Okay, Hannah, answer the question.
Yes. It's a closed circuit.
It's going
2
what?
lamps. What? I'm reading it.
Yeah, okay.
2 lamps and thin wire in the short. It will be very bright.
How and why? Tell me why.
No, it's 2 lamps. It's bright.
No. It was bright when we had only one lamp. Look at this. We had here one lamp, so it was bright. If you have 2 lamps, what will happen to the brightness?
It will be dim.
It will be dim, exactly, because you added more loads. Okay, when you add more loads, like a bulb or a motor or a buzzer, when you have extra ones, you're making it dimmer. Okay, all right, let's see the next one. Complete the table about the thickness of the wire. Okay, So we are still comparing the first experiment. The first one, we said that we have a closed switch, one lamp, thin wire and short wire, and it was bright. So now we change the wire into a thick wire. What do you think will happen to the brightness? Huh? What do you think will happen to the brightness? Yes, Ruqayya.
It's number 3, right?
Yes, we're right here, yes.
Okay. Very bright.
It will be very bright, thank you, because we use the thick wire, and this thick wire will make it brighter. Thank you. The next one, complete the table about the length of the wire. Okay, so we were using a short wire and it was bright. If we use the long wire, what will happen? Hala. It was bright when we use the short wire. If we use the long wire, what will happen to the brightness?
It will go dim.
Yes, it will become dim. All right, because a long wire is not easy for electricity to go through it. So it's going to be dim. All right, next is question C. It says complete the sentences about this electrical circuit. Choose words from the list. So we have here some word bank: fewer, longer, more, shorter, thinner, and thicker. And we want to know what will make the lamps brighter, okay? So you just have to say the shorter and thicker the wire, and the fewer the lamps, the brighter the lamps, guys. Okay, because a lot of you said if we used, I guess, a shorter and the longer wire or something like this. So one was the opposite of the other. You're looking for, in order to make it brighter, the wires should be short and thick, and the number of lamps should be very few. Okay, so again, the answer is the shorter and thicker the wire, and the fewer lamps, the brighter the lamps. Okay? All right, next is food chains. Explain the relationships between different organisms. Construct a food chain of 4 organisms in a certain habitat. That was a very tough question to correct, actually, because you guys made up some magnificent food chains that I have never heard of. Animals live in the same habitat as the variety that you chose, okay? So I had several issues. Number one is that some of you wrote grass, then rabbit, then I think it was grass, then no, it was grass, then caterpillar, then rabbit, then I guess something after that. And the problem is, and you keep just going with the idea that there is the grass, and then there is an animal eating the grass, and then there is a rabbit eating the animal. Rabbits are herbivores, guys. Rabbits are herbivores. They do not eat meat, okay? And they do not eat insects. They eat plants only, okay? So if you wrote a plant and then an animal and then a rabbit eating this animal, this is wrong. All right, number one. Number two, dogs do not eat cats, guys, okay? And I think someone knows what I'm talking about. They chase each other because dogs find them like a danger for them, but they do not eat them, okay? So dogs do not eat cats. Number three, lions do not eat tigers.
Who is this someone?
I don't know. Lions do not eat. I don't know. Someone did it. Lions do not eat tigers. Okay? They fight with each other. They don't eat each other. Lions do not eat tigers. Okay? So please stick to the food chains that we have learned about, whether in a PowerPoint or in your graphic organizer or in your first trimester book. Look at the food chains that have been suggested. I really appreciated the people who used the seafood chain, who used the kelp and then a small fish and then a bigger fish and then a shark. Okay, this is something that we are aware of.
I use this one.
Yes, I know, Ruqayya. Okay, please guys, stick to the food chains. Yeah, the problem is, the other thing is that some of you used animals from different habitats in one food chain. I had to Google it in order to find out if they actually live in the same habitat or not. And some did and some didn't. Okay, so please stick to the food chains that we know about. Next is complete the following using the food chain that you constructed. The problem with this question, and I had to just get over it, is that this is related to the previous question, and this question is related to the previous one, and so on. So if you got the first one wrong, the rest will be wrong. So I had to just pass what I found that is right, even if it's about a wrong food chain. Okay, because you guys would have get a 0 in this question with the answers that I saw. Okay, so the producer, you just have to write what is the plant in your food chain. So let's say, for example, that we wrote grass, rabbit, snake, and then a hawk or a hook or what, or a venture or something. Okay, a hook. So you have what? You have the plant, which is the grass, and then the rabbit, which is the herbivore eating the plant, and then you have a snake which ate the rabbit, and then you have a hawk which eats the snake. So the producer will be the grass. The predator might be the predator, guys, for the last time. The animal that eats the producer is not a predator. The predator must be eating another animal, and it should be hunting this animal in order to be a predator. So rabbit eats, when it eats grass, it's not a predator. All right? So the rabbit is not a predator, but the snake is a predator and the hawk is a predator. The prey will be the rabbit because the snake ate it, and ate it, and the hawk also, and the snake is also going to be a prey because the hawk ate it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. The rest, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
How many consumers are there in the food chain you have constructed? Now, as I told you, it's related to the first question. So this is why if you got the first question wrong in the checkpoint, the rest will be wrong. So you have to make sure that your first question is correct. How many consumers are there in the food chain? If we're going to talk about the same food chain, grass eaten by rabbit, and then eaten by the snake, and then eaten by the hawk. So you have 3 consumers, and those consumers are the rabbit because it consumed the grass, and there is a difference between consumers and predators, guys. Okay, consumers, it is any animal that eats anything, whether it's a herbivore or carnivore or an omnivore. As long as it ate something, it's a consumer. Okay, so the rabbit is a consumer, the snake is a consumer, and the hawk is a consumer. So you have 3 consumers. Okay, question D says, what happens when the last consumer in your food chain dies. Have you ever, guys, heard, because I had like 2 or 3 people wrote the correct answer. Have you ever heard of decomposers?
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah, because a lot of you said that the food chain will end. Some said no, the food chain will not end. And some said that the last or the prey will become a predator. And I found like a lot of ridiculous answers. It's simply, the answer simply is that when the last consumer in my food chain dies, it will be decomposed or it will be broken down by decomposers. You totally forgot about decomposers, guys. Anyway, we're done. It's 1:30. So I'm going to end the session. We're going to continue. I guess we don't have a session tomorrow. We have a session after tomorrow. So we're going to continue on Wednesday, finishing this paper and then we're going to start correcting the homework.
Do you have homework?
Yes,
Now we
you
leave?
do. So you have to check your Moodle and Classera, but your homework will be due after tomorrow, not tomorrow.
Now we
Okay?
leave?
Now you leave. Yes. Bye.
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 استريح شويه بس بعدها